that. I know when you do that, what you're going to say next. And it is so funny to me. And I'm always sitting back here going, here we go. It's like when we're doing podcasts and I said, this is working for me. It's like,
Oh, even when you're not watching anymore, I'm laughing about that inappropriately now. Thank you. So I recorded a podcast last night.
yeah.
I didn't tell you about it because it wasn't live, and because I'm in that group, isn't it Book a Guest or whatever it is? I forget. And I'm answering a bunch, trying to get to do 1 or 2 a week.
Right.
And I did that show last night, and he was funny because of course, I don't know him. He just meets you the first time when you're on the show.
Right.
And he says, I want you to be vulnerable and authentic and stuff. And I'm like, he has no idea who he's.
Hi, Peg.
It's like, I don't even know if I can not be that on purpose.
Unleash the Lisa on him. Hi, Teresa.
Teresa and Peg. Yeah, I think if someone paid me to act a different way, I'm not even sure I could do it. I just have been me all along.
You should always be you, and you should always tell the truth, because you're never going to remember what you said anyway. So the only chance you have of getting it right on repeat is if it's what you really think happened, or you're just screwed anyway.
Yeah. Peg says Lisa could not be an authentic. That's sad though, because I'm sure anybody who spent any amount of time with me, like Peg, I'm sure there's certain things she wishes I could be authentic about.
I think you're perfectly authentic. Like the fact that you're a natural bluehead. I think that's perfectly authentic.
Did you check?
No, don't say stuff like that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, that was wrong. I'm sorry. Are you still selling Avon? Absolutely, I'm still selling Avon.
You were like the #1 individual producer for New Hampshire on top of your group, right?
Oh, yeah.
I saw that the other day.
I got an award in 2022, which was last year, of course.
Right.
I was the #1 in personal sales in New Hampshire. I was the #1 personal seller. I was shocked at that. I didn't know that. No, yay.
I'm not shocked. You always set a good example for your folks. So.
Oh, I'm hustling it. I never stopped doing that. That's absolutely for sure. And you know what? It's funny. We're going to talk about networking in a minute, but something that I know and I've had to learn over time is that there's people watching what I'm doing, and I don't mean that in a bad way. There's people watch what I'm doing. So, and that's true for everybody. And you're setting an example whether you want to or not.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I got this awesome thing today. This is a light up kitty. Look at this. This is so cute.
A light up kitty?
Look at the outline of a kitty.
Okay, cool.
Isn't that cute? I got that in the mail today. But let me read you the little note.
Okay.
This is someone I don't know. And she said, today's a good day to have a good day. Dear Lisa, my name is Margaret. I am on Lisa Scola's team. So she's not in my downline. And I saw this kitty light and I thought of you. I watch your meetings and posts when I can. You are a pleasure to watch, and I hope to meet you in person someday.
There we
Margaret.
go.
Isn't that nice? That's so wonderful. People are watching, because I hadn't heard of Margaret till this. I got this in the mail. Yeah. So people watch you that you don't even realize.
Yep. And that's one of the things that about writing the book and doing other things that we do, and it's your mindset about things. It's pretty rewarding. So I don't think of it as a selfish thing, but I do enjoy it personally. When someone you haven't met tells you that what you did made a difference to them, and even when the people that you have worked with say it, that's great, and I love the people I've always worked with. But every now and then, when you get a comment or something from someone who says, "Wow, this is good," and I had a guy, he's selling insurance, and he signed up for my free sales training. If people go to survivalskillsforcommissionsalespeople.com, they'll see my online insurance. It's geared toward insurance, but it works in any industry. But they'll see the course, and I won't let them buy the course unless they do the free part to see if they like it. And he had done the free part, and one of the emails in that sequence that goes out says, send me your biggest fear or whatever, because I'm trying to get them to send me something. Yeah. And one kid did that. And a lot of people have, but this one particular kid did. I always reply. I'd shoot him a reply back, and he was blown away that I would take the time to do that. And
Oh,
it
that's
just
like when Bob comments, like you like it when Bob comments.
exactly. Okay, I don't know how much I'm going to be able to catch. It's thunderstorming here in Jerseyville, Illinois. Who is in Jerseyville? Put your
With
name there.
hail. So I don't know if my internet with hail. And look at the lady before the ad said, "Do I sell Avon?" Yes, I do. I didn't know. She said, "I just didn't see much between you and Molly Stone Bibb." It's only because Molly and I aren't in each other's downline. So like I just talked to her and Bibb. They're out doing DoorDash at the moment. So we don't necessarily do stuff online together all the time, but I hang around Bibbs all the time. So. It's just we didn't happen to do something with Avon lately. But yeah, they're in, I'm in, we're all in. We're all out there selling some Skin So Soft.
One happy Avon family.
You were one big happy Avon family.
Greg said it's
Yeah.
Andres Daner. Is that how you pronounce that? I don't know.
Who? Oh, Audrey Diner. Yeah. Andrea. What are we saying, Audrey? Andrea Daner. I know Andrea. I think she's one of my Avon buddies. Pretty sure.
Cool.
Pig said, not at all. I love you just the way you are. Oh, that's nice, Pig. Thank you.
We had such a good time today, everybody. We were actually at
Excuse me.
ow, ow. No, I'm kidding. We were actually, as you guys know, the book won the silver medal from the Axiom Business Book Awards, and Lisa and I were on their awards call today. That was kind of an interesting thing. Years ago, when I won it for the Unexpected Tour Guide, they actually had a presentation ceremony. It was in New York, and of course, Jeffrey got his rear end on a plane, and my wife and I went up there. Had spent. We were there for an award ceremony that lasted maybe an hour and a half at the most.
That'd be worth it still, though.
Oh, man, we spent like a week up there and thousands of dollars going to do stuff that we do. And then we came back the next week for my youngest daughter, Whitney's wedding.
Oh, nice.
It wasn't in New York. We came back from New York to Texas. So, but anyway, yeah. But today, Lisa and I were on the call that they had for the award winners and all that. And it was, it reminded me somewhat, although it wasn't quite as skillful, but it reminded me of our Go Givers Success Alliance calls, because it was that I always keep it in the grid thing on Zoom so I can see everybody's face for the most part. And so it was kind of fun. And Lisa and I were passing notes in class. On Zoom, you can do the chat and send private messages. So I'm sending her a private message. She's sending one back, and I said, "Are we passing notes in class?"
So somebody wrote Andrea Diener because it rhymes with wiener.
Okay. Andrea Diener, we're so glad you're here. And we're glad it rhymes with wiener. So there we go. I will never forget how to pronounce your name now. So.
Oh, we're wrong.
Andrew, is it you that also said when you were 4, you lived in Corsicana?
Oh.
I've been through Corsicana more times than I can count, because I lived the last 19. Well, let's see. I've got multiple places that I go, but I've done a lot of time driving from Houston to Dallas, and they go through Corsicana on that drive every single time.
Whoa.
And they have some of the best pecans you'll ever get in your life. Is a little place there that they send them out worldwide.
That's a southern pecan, the way you're saying it.
It's pecan if you're down here, all right?
Pecan,
it's not pecan or pecan.
We say
pecan is something that goes under the bed, is what my grandmother said. I'm sorry, folks. I did not mean to say that. That's a green room thing for me. But oops. But yeah, we say pecans here. And I said pecans growing up in Georgia. So.
Well, I'll have to try to do that.
Good luck. Changing pronunciation in our 60s is not very successful. I'm just going to tell you.
Hey, I'm not in my 60s. I'm in my 40s. Kind of. The company culture my dad used to work for. I will be 40 on June 6th. Oh, awesome.
I know the company Holcher. I made a presentation when I was still with Aflac to that company there with a broker, and I think, if I remember right, we got it. I don't remember not getting it, but I've had a coffee or two.
Yes. Scott said, "I'm late. I had to go to 1325 Tree instead of Dollar Tree because they don't sell the dollar stuff anymore."
Scott, you're just warped, man. You have I like your perspective on life. You're just warped.
They put a Dollar Tree down by me, and I can't understand the business decision of this. I still am, because if they didn't buy the land, they put a brand new building on it. How are they ever going to get their money back? This is such a small town. I don't understand how it works. I guess
Well,
the stuff must be really, 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 really cheap.
I'm guessing that a lot of companies actually
Must be.
lease their land that their building is on. I know, you know how Ray Kroc was the kind of
Yeah,
the magic behind McDonald's becoming such a big thing. He bought the rights from the McDonald's brothers themselves,
yeah.
and the with Ray Kroc, he made a lot of money on McDonald's, but he actually was the his real money came from the fact that he bought the land and he
Yeah.
leased the
So it
land
was
to the
real
owners of
estate.
the building for their
Yeah.
McDonald's. Let's
And
see.
yes.
I'm
How
guessing
when
that's
did
still Andrea there. How long ago did I pitch to Holcher? It would have had to have been before the year 2002. So a long time ago. So over 20 years.
oh
Uh,
God, that sounds like it wasn't that long ago.
I know. My daughters are having fun. They're seeing people that were born after them, like Lindsay. She's a college advisor at Volunteer State in Tennessee, and she sent me a text, and it said something along the lines of one of the students she was advising was born in a particular year, and I started laughing. I said, "That just happens, darling. It just happens."
I don't want to get old anymore. Okay, sorry.
Does the name Paul Daner sound familiar? I don't have a good enough memory to recall all of that. To be honest with you,
It's got to be Diener because it
Diener. That's right.
rhymes
It's
with
Diener
wiener.
because it rhymes with wiener. That's right.
Oh, that is wrong. That is wrong.
We were living in Fayetteville, Georgia at the time. I know Fayetteville, Georgia really well too. This is so funny. I actually used to live in Morrow, Georgia, and Fayetteville. One of my mentors in my life lived in Peachtree City, and I would drive from Morrow through Fayetteville to Peachtree City.
Wow. That's awesome.
I've lived a long time. I apparently know a lot of people everywhere now. I don't get it.
That's why you're a good business guy.
Well, I got tickled on Monday, I think it was. Is that right? I may have the day wrong in my head. My wife and I actually made an offer to buy a building in a little town called Brenham, Texas.
Whoa.
And it was 3 stories, and the top could have been a loft, and the middle was been like Airbnb stuff, and then the bottom was retail. And the offer didn't get accepted, which is fine. But we also looked at another building, and Lori Walker owned the building. And a lot of people won't know who that is. If you follow country music, there was a guy named Clay Walker who was very famous.
Yes.
It was his first wife.
Oh.
And she's my age. Well, no, she's younger than me. She's your age, and she looks like 40 at the most.
That like me.
Exactly. Instead of being 110 like me and looking good for 63, she was 60 and looked damn good for 60. I'll just leave it at that.
I like the way you hid the surprise or terror on your face. Like me.
Oh, she graduated from Fayetteville County High School in 2002. I was already in Texas. I came to Texas in 1989, so my years in that area were in the 80s. But I've got some people that have meant huge things to me in my life that are in that area. They really are. Oh, we got some good news we have to tell everybody. And we don't have a date scheduled for this, guys, but Lisa and I both really enjoyed the visit with John David Mann and his wife, Anna Gabriel Mann. I just married Andrea Wiener but
it's Anna,
Diener.
Anna, Anna.
Anna Gabriel Mann. Anyway, we thought that went well, and we'd love to have that. And the comments from you guys has been great. And so we've got another guest next week, right? Jenny's coming next week. So next week we're going to have a guest, Jenny Bellinger, and her podcast for those of you in direct sales. You will absolutely.
I want to say it, badass.
She said, "Now I shouldn't have said something. I apologize. We will never refer to that again, Andrea. Sorry about that. All right, but Jenny's going to be here next week, and her podcast is directly toward direct sales, and it's badass direct sales marketing mastery. But we're going to have 2 guests on relatively soon. We don't have a date firmed up. But you guys have heard Lisa and I talk about how much it's almost like we fan out on this about Bob Berg. well, Bob Berg and his business partner, Kathy Tajanel, or have agreed that they're going to come be on our show too. And I told them, I said, it's not like a normal podcast. We're not going to be, I mean, we'll promote whatever's going on for anybody, but the point is it's about letting our group see the personal side behind the scenes of people that they know, that they don't really know one-on-one, but it gives them more of that. So Lisa and I have made that work out. So you guys will get that in a few weeks as well. So we're excited about it.
Awesome. I'm so glad they did that. That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah. And Jenny, that was cool being on her. She had a summit thing going on too.
Yeah, you did a great job. You always do a great job on these things. And when I can watch to be there and be supportive, I always like to do that. But you do a great job, and people relate well to you. So I mean, that's a very good thing for you personally, and also for business. So
yeah. Last night's podcast was funny though, because his last question, what happened was, I signed up for the thing, didn't hear from him, and then what happened? All it was in the confirmation was a call-in phone number. And I thought they would call me. And so I was sitting here the whole 10 minutes ahead and 10 minutes after. And then he emailed me and was like, well, you didn't show up. And then it's like, oh man. And so I wrote him right away and I said, no, I was here. I misunderstood the directions. And then he still did it with me, still did the recording. But his last question was, how did you really feel about that happening?
about the instructions,
the mess up happening. He said,
did you give him authentic Lisa, like green room Lisa, or did you give him something else?
I think he thought I wasn't authentic because I didn't say I was mad or anything, but I actually was still happy to do the show with him. So I said I was excited because I hadn't met you yet, and I wanted to meet him because he's I didn't save the paper, but he's like works for one of the sports franchises in North Carolina or something like that. He's a big deal. So I was still happy to meet him. I actually wasn't really mad that happened because I misunderstood the directions. I wasn't mad at him, but I think he thought she should have been madder or something. I don't know.
There have been times where you thought I would be mad about something and I never was.
No, that's true.
So he may not. Maybe he's like you. Maybe he's got that clown in his closet there. So.
I've only seen you mad that one time, and that I didn't like that.
That's true. And I apologized after I calmed down.
That's the time you showed up with the horse in the back, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. That's how I made it up to you. I zoomed in. I had the horse's rear end and the back of the screen.
No, the thing that I thought was the funniest, and I don't know how many people I've told this to, sadly, but is when I got really mad. It was that time, and I kind of told you to, yourself, and I hung up the phone. And bless your heart, what you did, you didn't get mad. You texted me and said, "Let's regroup in an hour." That is not what I'd have said.
You said it. You just translated it slightly different. That's all.
But did you know that whole entire hour I sat there because it was in my closet. I sat on the edge of my bed going, I am not calling him back. I don't care. I don't care what he does. He could take this whole thing. And for 1 hour solid, I sat there and said that. And then, of course, at the end of the hour, I got on the Zoom and you sweet talked me into finishing. We finished.
I didn't sweet talk you. I just apologize because I was the horse's rear at that moment.
No, you're like, we can do this. We can get this done. We're already this way through. You got me going back on it. But that whole hour was hilarious. Looking back, I can't believe I was being such a jerk. But
you weren't being a jerk. You were out of your comfort zone. And I can't tell you how many times I've bragged on you for what you did on the audiobook because that was so not your comfort zone.
But when you're out of your comfort zone, you just step up and learn it. I whine and cry. Why? Why can't
teacher's pet clown comes out of my closet and I just learned the stuff.
Why can't I be a grown up? Why can't I be a grown up?
By the way, is it Andrea or Andrea?
Andrea.
Okay, Andrea. Yes, you can friend me on Facebook if you want to. It's just Jeff Weston. You can see me in the Facebook group, or you can find me on LinkedIn. It's everything I do anywhere, with the possible exception of Facebook. It says Jeff C. West, but you're welcome to. I would love to connect. Yes.
Yeah,
And you
and
can
she's
also,
Facebook,
if you,
she's Messenger. He does Messenger.
yeah, do Messenger, and then I've got a website, jeffcwest.com, and all that good stuff. So yes, I would just be tickled.
Oh, yeah, Scott
You see
said
what
she's
Scott wrote?
no snot bubble crying. Yeah, I did my share of that. Poor you. Now tell me what you were. Now you're going to be too nice and say it, but the first time I snot bubble cried, you didn't panic. I expected you to. But did
Mm,
you go, oh God, she's crazy?
nope,
Oh, good. That
nope.
was nice.
You
That
have,
was
I
nice.
have, what's the right way to say this? On a G-rated show,
Oh no.
um,
Oh, I know
I
what
have,
you're going to
I
say.
have been through poop storms way worse than that.
Storms. He does swear, everybody. He's acting like I'm the only one that swears like a pirate.
I
And
really
you're
do.
saying poop storms in real life?
I say darn and golly.
I don't.
I really,
Oh.
I will fess up to the group. I try never to do it on the show or on an interview or anything like that. But yes, behind the scenes, I can be a little a little horsey at times. But what's the right way to say it? I don't make a habit of saying the really bad ones for the
Okay, so
most part.
let's go back because I think this is something that is important, but you may not. But anyway, so
Andrea's trying to bail me out. You're not the only
getting
one behind closed doors.
uh, and I know I talk about this too much, but I think this is kind of important. Is when we were getting into this, I didn't think that much about the whole thing. I just wanted to say yes to some stuff, and this sounded good. But once we decided to do it, then I did know about the hair thing, and you didn't believe me on that. You're like, oh no, you can take a picture around with you now. But you didn't know me well enough to know that wasn't going to fly.
Well, I'm impressed with you doing the blue hair thing for as long as you have, because I know that if we hadn't written the book, you might not have blue hair right now. You might, who knows? But what is so much fun to me is to watch you be on a show or maybe us be on there together or whatever, and you see the other faces. And how many people have we seen that have dyed their hair blue or they're wearing a blue haired wig
I love
because
it.
of you in the book?
Yeah, I
That's
love
just
that
the
too.
coolest thing, kiddo. I'm proud
Yeah.
of you.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, you know what? Everybody at convention ought to wear blue hair. That would be fun.
Today on the Go Givers call
It's
everybody.
working for me.
There's a it is, isn't it? Fact? There was a Go Giver networking call today that it was public. Anybody could go. It was a little fee if you weren't a member of the Success Alliance. And Lisa was on there, and I couldn't attend it today because I was slammed all the way up to our Axiom Awards ceremony thing. But it was funny because Lisa was in the breakout room, and somebody was asking her about her blue hair, and she said she was telling a little bit of the story, and I said, "Did you tell them that it's a requirement in the Go Giver Success Alliance that everybody dyes their hair blue?" She did not. She did not do that.
No, it was just funny because to tell that story includes them, the Go
Mhm.
Giver guys.
Sure.
So
You and I would have never met. This book would not exist, and this book is changing people. It's having a good effect. So
changing
that's a good
me,
thing.
it changed me already.
That's a good. You used to have
Oh,
a different color hair. Now you got blue hair.
yeah, that's it too.
But that green room.
Green
Uh,
room.
but now that kind of brings up the teaching topic for tonight. Lisa wanted to spend some time coaching you guys about networking, so I'm gonna kind of turn it over to her, and I'll join in as needed.
Oh, okay. Well, when we do the Go Giver networking, it is a little bit different than what you're thinking. When you go to a regular business one like the Chamber of Commerce, everybody's trying to shove a business card in your hand, and you're trying to see how many you can get out. And really that's not that effective, because you probably have a stack of business cards at your house that you never did anything with. I'm talking all the other people. And right.
Or
But
with me.
in the Go Giver Success Alliance, we aren't trying to get our card in the other guy's hand. We're just trying to learn about the other person and see if there's a way we can bring value to them somehow. So it's like a puzzle. And one of my people that I networked with today said to me, what did you figure out your one value thing that you're going to give to the group? And I'm like, no. What it is I wake up Wednesday morning when I'm going to go to the mentoring Zoom every week, and I think to myself, I better be on the lookout for some value that I can bring today. Something. I better be bringing something. Right? And because she was afraid she didn't have value to bring, I said, we all feel that way. You have to just bring that out. And I'm rambling now. I'm not talking what I'm supposed to. So do you want?
Well, I think that's a valid point. The whole idea, if you want to stand out when you're networking, you focus on everybody else but yourself, but in a way that still builds a relationship. For example, the thing that I actually learned it from endless referrals, but it's the same lesson that's taught in the Go Giver. I learned about connecting people with each other. And so if your focus in a networking event is not about, okay, here's my 15-second elevator phrase, elevator pitch, or whatever you want to call it, and here's my business card, and I want you to know this about me so you can call me up and do business with me. No, try to connect other people. Ask them, how did you get doing what you're doing? What's your favorite thing about it? And as you're doing that, the last question that you ask them will probably lead to more questions, but the last question that you should ask them is, what questions do I need to be thinking of? What do I need to be looking for to know that when I run into somebody, they would be a good referral to send your way? Help me know how to help you. And it's number one, it's the best way in the world to do anything, because your focus is not internal, it's external. It's just trying to help people. It makes you stand out. It's like when you go to a restaurant now that has really good customer service, they stand out so much because of all the places that just halfway do their job. And
Yeah.
this separates you from the crowd. So this is what you should do when you're networking. You should focus on that. And then, there will be a point where it comes your way. I've gotten more referrals from people myself who their focus was I was focused on them, and it was working. It was working for them. And next thing you know, they're trying to help me as well, because it made a positive emotional connection with the logic of their business, and that's why it worked. And so then they had that connection with me, and they had that loyalty with me. So they wanted me to do well too. And I was about to say well as well. And I try not to use the same word 3 times in one sentence. So okay. But
Well, and I was telling the ones I had, because you get paired up, and I was telling the ones that I had the connection with, that part of the value I bring to the group, in my opinion, is that I send out cards. So I send cards to the people that I network with. So I did 3. I got 3 of their mailing addresses, because I said, if you don't mind, I want to send you a card to welcome you to the group, because that's some of the value I bring, is the good feeling that you're going to feel when you get a card.
right.
So I think it doesn't necessarily have to be, they're thinking different for the word value than,
Right.
right. It can just be that you're happy, or you're listening to them.
Yeah,
Could be
and the comments that you'll make during the calls are spot on. And that's in my case. I mean, I put free resources in there for the group, and I'll always do that. But in my case, the value that I bring might be my thoughts about a subject, and that's what you do all the time. And that itself brings the fact that you and I have done this brings value to that group, because it's a way for Bob and Kathy to have that ability to say, okay, this is kind of some of the magic that can happen in this. And so it's huge. It's very huge.
Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. I don't necessarily like to say stuff out loud. Peg was kind of giving me a hard time about that, but she does. Peg said, "I didn't hear your voice today, but I don't usually say anything. I usually type stuff in the thing.
Well,
I don't know why. I don't
well,
know.
you've done both, but you and I both are a little bit like, I'll still do it if it's not, what's the right way to say this?
Because we said something on the Axiom Book Award thing. Both of us said
Right.
something.
Right.
But
We got so much attention during the book launch and all of that I try not to be in the spotlight to offset some of that. But this is the same thing. But if I've got something that I feel like will be helpful for anyone, I'm going to say it. But I don't want the spotlight to be on me. I want it to be on Bob and Kathy and whatever that's going on at the
when I'm
top.
not saying something, Peg thinks I should though. She texts me and she says, "If you don't raise your hand, I'm going to raise it for you." Peg's always looking out for me.
True.
I was a little worried when we went to Salt Lake because I was sitting next to her. I'm thinking she's going to grab my hand, put it right up in the air. Because I'm always chicken about going. That's why I had to bring the autograph card, because I could talk to anyone with that, even the high up ones in the company. See, I'm fangirling them. I'm an Eagle somewhere else. The Eagles, but I feel funny. Like, I don't like to just walk up to Jordan Adler and say something. He's the number one money earner. It's like
my favorite thing about you going out to the send out cards event was the fact that you were known when you got there. And I just think that's the coolest thing. I really do.
Yeah, that was nice.
After all, you are direct sales legend Lisa M. Wilber.
Just throw I think I need a shirt for that. Legend.
That'll be your next one.
Letters.
I got you this is working for me shirt. The next one is direct sales legend Lisa Wilber.
Oh, that is wrong.
I think I plagiarized Bob. I think he had said that somewhere, and I thought I got to remember that.
He always makes it sound better than it is. Makes me sound better.
She was number 4, but she slipped to number 5.
But he always says world, and everybody's like, "Whoa!"
Well, you are look. If you're the fifth in line here, as far as that organization goes, you're 5th in the world. Nobody's going to beat that.
Yes, sir.
It's like I can legitimately say now we have sold books in multiple countries all over the place because people are watching this show, they're buying books, and that's an interesting phenomenon for me. By the way, awesome. We're running over time. Promotional stuff. If you have not gotten your audio book of the Unexpected Tour Guide, if you'll go get that at Audible, inside that recording, I actually I've given away a course that I've been selling for years at $97. You'll get that course for free. Just go to Audible to get the Unexpected Tour Guide. If you're not an Audible member yet, I'm going to encourage you to do so. Lisa and I have posted the links. You could start an Audible membership with either Blue Hair or Tour Guide, and I think you get the book for free when you do that.
Yeah.
But Audible's pretty daggum awesome. I have just really enjoyed it. Pretty daggum awesome. Hang on, let me get a sip of coffee. I'll get this right in a second.
I want everybody to make sure they don't have a wristband. They tell me, because I've got more to mail. I've got more to mail out.
If you have not gone on Amazon, please do a rating. If you've got a few minutes to type 3 or 4 sentences in there, that's great. I'll spotlight you like crazy because I love it when you do it. But I
got to update. I think we're at 54, aren't we? 54.
56.
56.
Yep. 56 as of the last time I looked.
Okay.
As far as the ratings go, right?
I got to make a new graphic because we're shooting for 100. Yep.
So. Anyway, we love you guys. Next week, you don't want to miss next week. Jenny Bellinger is going to be, it is next week, right?
Yes.
All right. Look, I always laugh because when I'm really looking at you, you're over here. When I look like this, I look like I'm looking at you, but I'm not. But Jenny Bellinger is an absolute hoot. And you'll enjoy the show with her. And then in the near future, New York Times best-selling author Bob Berg and his business partner Kathy Tachanel, who's Kathy's actually the president of the Go Givers International.
Do you know Kathy? The thing that I love about Kathy, she didn't want to use her maiden name or her old married name. She made that name up. Her last name, she made that name up.
Did she tell you how she came up with it?
No.
I wonder if we should wait and let them tell it that night.
Okay, wait and let them tell it. But I thought that was one of the, I want to say ballsy, but I know that's not nice. That look at your face.
You just try to embarrass me every show.
That is like the wow. I'm very impressed. Let's leave it at that.
I absolutely love everything about Kathy Page just like I do Bob. She has got the
Mm,
sweetest spirit. She sent me
I love that.
something yesterday, I guess it was, and I'm going to meet with a guy that has an app, and the app, I'm not going to go into too much detail because it's in the beta testing, but it's designed for people like you and I that have book content that we'd like to help drive more sales with it. And so we put maybe some points on there so that they can get it if they've signed up for that app and they've got our book, they can get notifications to their phone, and we can
Oh,
feed them little content pieces, little
nice.
advice pieces. And it's such a great idea. I hope that when I see it, I'm as excited about it as what Kathy was telling me about.
Oh, that's awesome. I hope you tell me about it.
Yeah, you'll be in.
I'll be
You,
in.
you got connections. This is working for you.
This is working for me.
This is working. Bye, everybody. We love you guys.
Okay. Love you. Bye bye. See you next time.
I'm keeping my eyes right here.